The construction site was running smoothly as the day began. Workers arrived on time, gathered for the morning briefing, and listened as the supervisor outlined the tasks and reinforced safety procedures. It was a normal start. Everything seemed in order. Everything seemed under control. Among the crew was Lucas, a reliable worker who had been part of the project for several months. He understood the routine and trusted the process that guided the work. That day, his team was assigned to prepare an area for ongoing activities. It involved organizing materials, checking equipment, and ensuring that everything was ready before the workload increased. At the beginning, every step was followed carefully. The area was organized. The tools were in place. The environment felt stable. As the morning progressed, the pace began to increase. More workers entered the area, and more tasks started at the same time. The rhythm of the site became faster. Still, everything seemed fine. Lucas moved through the area, observing the progress. He noticed small details, but nothing that appeared urgent. A tool slightly out of place, a pathway a bit tighter than usual, a task being done a little faster. These things were minor. They did not stop the work. They did not raise immediate concern. So the work continued. Hours passed. The activity intensified. More materials were added. More people moved through the same space. The small details remained. They did not cause a problem, but they began to change how the environment functioned. Workers adjusted their movements. Some slowed down slightly. Others paid closer attention to avoid small obstacles. The system was still working, but it was becoming less predictable. Lucas felt it. A subtle change. Not visible at first, but present. Then came the moment. Nothing dramatic, nothing obvious, just a point where the accumulation of small changes required the team to stop. A supervisor noticed the flow of work was no longer as smooth as it had been earlier. He paused the activity, called the team together, and asked a simple question. What changed? The workers looked around. At first, no one answered, because nothing seemed wrong. But as they observed more carefully, they began to see it. The small details, the slight deviations, the adjustments they had made without realizing. Lucas realized something important. Everything had been fine until that moment. The moment when small changes reached a point where they could no longer be ignored. The supervisor explained calmly, most problems don't start with one big event. They build over time. Small decisions, small changes, small things we choose not to correct. When we don't address these small details, we allow the system to drift away from the standard, and eventually we reach a point where we have to stop. The workers began to reset the environment. Tools were returned to their proper places. Pathways were cleared. Tasks were realigned with the correct procedures. The process took only a short time, but the impact was immediate. The flow of work improved. Movements became easier. The environment felt controlled again. Lucas reflected on what had happened. He realized that he had seen many of those small changes earlier, but because everything seemed fine, he chose not to act. That moment changed his perspective. He understood that safety is not just about reacting when something goes wrong. It is about noticing when things begin to change, even when the change feels small, even when everything still seems fine. At the end of the shift, Lucas walked through the site one last time. Everything looked organized again, but now he saw more than before. He saw the importance of details, the value of small corrections, the need to act early, because the most important moment is not when something becomes a problem. It is the moment just before that, the moment when everything still seems fine. And choosing to act in that moment is what keeps the work safe for everyone.